Global X recently launched two actively managed funds to invest in two of the world's biggest developing markets. The Global X Brazil Active ETF, the symbol is BRAZ, and the Global X India Active ETF, NDIA. Tell us about these. This is interesting. Again, I'm not a big active guy, but these are two big markets.
Sure, India is a huge market. You think about, there's 1.3 billion people in that market. The middle class is moving up. The barriers to have factories in India is easier than some other countries. It's a politically friendly country to the West. So there's a lot of opportunities in India. The actual capital markets are a little more difficult to access, but this is a space where we feel active is certainly a better place.
When you say active, what's active about it? Who's managing this?
We have a portfolio manager who's actually looking at analyzing individual companies within the space.
And you're looking for what? What are the factors here?
We're looking for growth. We're looking for stability. We're looking for increased market share of all the usuals aspects you're looking for in a particular company. So we think because of the demographics of the country, because of the political situation in the country, we think it's a great place to be.
The story makes complete sense. The problem is an efficient market. We all know this, right? But this year, emerging markets have had a tough time.
I love the idea of active EM because the MSCI Emerging Markets Index is so warped right now
by China.
It's become a disaster zone at this point. So I think if you're going to play international, particularly emerging markets, you have to do it actively. That benchmark doesn't work, and investors continue to allocate it still, despite it going nowhere for 15 years, despite the underperformance. And so I think every issuer out there needs to be paying attention to what Global X did and looking at these as an active play at these markets.
Doesn't it? But just to defend indexing, if you're just a China investor itself, the China market long term may actually do fine. It's decoupling now, and that's a major problem for the West. For China investors.
The stat I always like is China over the last 30 years has annualized at less than 1% per year. So you've basically made no money there. It's such a boom and bust vehicle. Now I understand the story, the growth story there, but when you look at it statistically, it just doesn't really add up to the attention it gets.
Yeah. Any thoughts on where we're going for the rest of the year in the emerging market space?
I think selectively in emerging markets makes a lot of sense. China certainly has a lot of headwinds, and so when you decouple from the major indexes, I think that's important.
It's easier to sell India as the outsourcing, for the world here. It's moving from China to India. Vietnam is too small to handle computers. Maybe it can handle sneakers. It can do Nike, but Vietnam can't handle Apple, for example. Only India can handle Apple.
It all goes back to the CapEx story and the reshoring and the friendly shoring story. And India is certainly a beneficiary of that story. So, yes.
Yeah. Well, let's keep an eye on all this, folks, because, again, you have the emerging market issue, you have the strong dollar, and you have the active. That's a lot of factors that can affect your performance. But it's still interesting to follow.